It's another side of midnight. I'm TJ McCormick. This is, of course, 77 WABC, the gold standard. Absolutely. Golden Earring. That's the name of his band. All right, get ready. Got in the left lane. Put in your blinker. Get in the left lane. Here we go. Go! Yeah! Let's see what this Honda Accord can do. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Are you driving right now? Are you out there on the road? Please be careful. Watch out for those lunatics. I mean, genuinely insane, out of their mind lunatics. Like, flying, not going fast, but actually, I tell you what, I remember one morning. I was still working for the Cardinal. I was working here in New York for the Archdiocese. And I was on the Bruckner, coming to the east side of Manhattan. And I was in really slow traffic. It was when the Bruckner was in just constant construction. And I'd say it was about 7:20 in the morning. And, you know, if you're good and you scan your mirrors, right? You scan your wing mirror, you use your rear view, wing, rear view, wing, rear view, wing, hello, wing, rear view mirror. And when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you catch the lunatics coming flying behind. That morning, sitting there on like one of the bridgey parts, one of the overpass parts of the Bruckner. A lot of construction ahead. I knew I was heading into a construction zone. That's why I was like just bumper to bumper. And I hear and flying by me. A motorcycle just had in and out of car. Turns out that bike, that drive, ended up in pieces. The bike and the kid had to be about another 2 hours. None of us moved. Didn't move more than... Kid flew by us and hit a... You know it's bad when, as you're approaching a scene, you just see literally dozens and dozens of police cars and dozens of cops on the highway. What an upbeat way to talk. Good morning, gang. Let's talk death. I'm sorry. It just, I just, my mind started going from thinking about everybody out there driving. Just be careful. Wow. I go from be careful to, so the cyclist was dismembered. Happy Saturday morning. Good morning. Anyway, so yes, so that's one way to start a happy morning talk show. Or I could just simply say, I'm glad you're here. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. Now we can step back off the ledge of all the doom and gloom, and we can talk about another doom and gloom. We could talk about Momani. This whole week has been about Momani because he knocked off. That's how bad this guy is. This guy knocks off Cuomo. He's so bad that he deprives anti-Cuomo guys like me a celebration of Cuomo losing. To finally see that punk go down, to see him lose. It was one thing to watch him step away, because you know what? When he stepped away, it was calculated. He did it to live to see another day. When he stepped away for the sexual harassment, more sexual harassment than killing, thousands of seniors. Unfortunately, that's what he was running away from, was the sexual harassment and not the, overseeing the deaths of tens of thousands of old people. And so he did it calculated because there were few politicians as talented and knowledgeable as Andrew Cuomo. And to see that bully, that punk, that jerk lose was magnificent. Unfortunately, he lost to a guy who could easily just totally doom the greatest city in the world. Is it still the greatest city in the world, by the way? We're saying that as if, we're kind of all stipulating that New York City is the greatest city in the world. It's every great city has like asterisks, New York City. Is New York City the greatest in the world? I don't know. Is it? 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. You can also grab us on the 77 WABC app. Take us everywhere you go on your phone. And anywhere in the whole wide world, WABCradio.com. So definitely do. But I wonder, are we, in fact, the greatest city in the world? I don't know. We can definitely talk about that. But, so a couple of things coming up this show. In the next hour, in the 3 a.m. hour, this morning, we're going to be talking to New York State Assemblyman Matt Slater. Matt Slater represents the upper counties here in the metropolitan area, represents Westchester and Putnam counties up in the 94th district. And Matt Slater made some news in the last 24 hours by once and for all, going after Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, calling her out for being anything but a Bronx girl. And it's not even just so much about being a Bronx girl or not being a Bronx girl. It's about the false bravado. It's about the fake everything. It's about the false narratives and the character-driven identity politics of the left, of the now far, far left, that are dominating everything. All the heavy-handed, ham-fisted politics of the left. And so Matt Slater, Assemblyman Slater, got on X and blew up Twitter, in fact, by calling out, because as you'll hear in our conversation, she grew up in leafy Yorktown Heights in Westchester County. And as Matt Slater will tell you, and he's got the receipts because he's got her picture from the yearbook, and he's like, yes, sorry, you're not Alexandria from the Bronx. You're Sandy from the burbs. So we're going to talk to Matt Slater. And also, Matt is a colleague. Again, Zamdani. I keep doing that. Mamdani. Mamdani, I think everybody has a version of his name flying through their head. Mamdani is currently, an assemblyman. He actually is an elected official. And so he's up there in Albany with Assemblyman Slater. And we also picked Assemblyman Slater's brain on Mamdani and that entire joke of a human being who wants to be the next mayor of New York City. So a fascinating, really cool conversation with one of the smartest guys in Albany, Matt Slater. That'll be coming up in the 3 a.m. hour. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jamal Bowman and his big fat mouth. Jamal Bowman blaming obesity. Is basically all the health concerns for people of color. He basically says if you're black and you're overweight, it's because of the N-word. So, okay. So we'll connect those dots with his royal stupid Jamal. What an embarrassment of a human being that is. The fact that CNN gives this guy a contract and mics him up and rolls him out there, his slovenly self. What a joke. And the guy was an educator, Jamal Bowman. Thank God for George Latimer. Hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Yeah. So that broken clock, George Latimer, he was right when he knocked out Jamal Bowman. That was beautiful. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. So we're going to talk to Matt Slater. We're going to talk about New York State politics with Matt. We're going to take some shots at Jamal Bowman in that next hour. And then in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to once again talk about life. Talk about so the good upside, happy side, if you will, of recovery and addiction and stuff like that. So, if you've got a friend or a loved one who seems like their life might be unmanageable these days, by all means, in that 4 o'clock hour, as we roll into the 5 a.m. news hour here on 77 WABC. We're going to open it up to anybody wanting to talk about anything about life like that. And some happy, fun stuff that goes along with that. That's why they say when you're sober, you're happy, joyous, and free. So we'll lean into the joyous and the free and the happy in that conversation. Now, the last couple of days outside of New York City, conservatism and law and order and being large and in charge on the Republican side of things, i.e., our guy, President Donald J. Trump, has been winning and winning and winning. Last Saturday, our military did a phenomenal job. The media was there to try to poke holes in it as the dust was settling in Iran. And Trump wasted no time in sending out him, not only himself, but Pete Hegseth did a spectacular job this week. He and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Kane, came out and they just blasted the media, as they so deserved. And it was magnificent. And Trump, for the last couple of days, has been out there. And the thing is, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it's just me, but he has just simply, I don't know if it's for me to say that if it's as simple as grown up, or he's grown into the role of commander-in-chief, of president. He's seasoned now. I mean, he's been much more on message when it comes to war and peace. A lot more on message, because he realizes he's winning so much, there's no need to really go off script. But President Trump this week has been a special kind of master up there. Just working the press, not just answering questions, and not just working the press, and not just working the room and playing the personalities. And he's in control of all of it and himself. And it's been something to see. And I was never Trumper. I was not completely a MAGA. I was always just sort of on the fence and rooting for it to happen. And I had friends who were never, ever Trumpers. And I had friends and family who were major, major MAGAs. And I always kind of pulled my punch a little bit when it came to Trump. I always kind of held back a little bit. I'm all in now. I'm all in on everything. I've had this evolution. And I'm wondering if you're the same way. Because, let's see. Where is that cut? You know what? Here. Tone, if we could do this, do me a favor. Here's just a couple of good example. Why don't we go 1, 2, and 3 back to back? Let's run these just as a refresher, guys. This is Trump today, Israel and Iran, and he finishes up with a comment on Momani. Listen to this, just very competent, cool, chill Donald Trump in front of a rabid press corps.
By the way, so many questions. Should we keep this going, Pam? This is the opposite of Biden. Biden would take a half a question and he'd leave without answering it. Go ahead.
On Iran.
You tell me when it gets boring. Okay.
On Iran. If Iran.
Are you from Iran?
No, I'm not from Iran. I'm from the UK. But if the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Without question, absolutely.
And have you had any conversations?
Turned out to be unbelievable. But, our incredible flyers and I call them the shots, these guys are unbelievable. Think, from 52,000 feet, they hit the equivalent of a refrigerator door. They actually hit it right in the center, so it's much smaller than that. And just bomb after bomb going deeper, blowing up. Incredible thing. I don't know if you heard the general. He was very impressive. Raisin Cane. He's the one that beat ISIS for me. And he did it in a matter of weeks.
Hit two, if you don't mind.
This is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and couple of others also. Serbia, they were getting ready to go to war.
That's cool. That's cool right there. Thank you, Tony. Again, he's taking questions. He's laying out his record. He's engaging the press. They're loving him. I mean, they have no choice but to love him because he's given them access. The guy spent more time yesterday on Friday afternoon talking to the press in the morning, or actually all day. That's right, because he did the morning thing with Pam Bondi. And if I'm on the fence about anything, it's Pam Bondi or what's her name? Who's the Homeland Security? I'm blanking on my other crush. Oh, Kristi Noem. If I'm on the fence about anything, it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem. They're just so impressive. Anyway, there he was. And when he was finished in the morning with Pam Bondi in that press conference, that marathon, he ends up in the Oval Office bringing the press. And he's fearless. And the difference is today is he's on message. And he had the wherewithal to shift gears in the middle of everything while he knew he had the bully pulpit to take a shot and acknowledge the earthquake that was here in New York City. Tony, could you hit number 3 for me, please?
Someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. He's a communist. We're going to go to a communistic state. That's so bad for New York. But the rest of the country is revolting against it.
Talking about Mamdani. I mean, what a gear shift. What a great way to read the moment and know that everybody's listening and everybody's watching. So he throws that out there, too. The guy is, I'm all in. I'm all in on anything he wants to do. I'm ready to, this is not sycophant. I'm not a fanboy of Donald Trump. I'm not a fanboy. I am a concerned citizen watching parts of American society dissolve, disintegrate, and destruct for the last 4 years. And we desperately needed somebody to come in and take action. And this guy has been all action. Since being sworn in, the guy went from his swearing-in ceremony to what a moment that was, an arena for the first round of executive order signings. I mean, from right out of the gate, action, 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 and that has led to win after win after win. And now the chickens are coming home to roost in terms of the brilliant choices he made, thank God, as regards the Supreme Court. Although Coney Barrett is definitely wobbling. That one's got some interesting buckling knees every now and then. She's given us all heart attacks, isn't she? 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Do you think Trump is really settling in? Are you like me? Are you like organically, have you come all the way around? Or are you like, are you and I told you so MAGA? Are you and I told you so MAGA? Or are you a holdout and you still think that this is all, that it's, J6 is really what Trump's all about, and he's a madman, and he's an egomaniac, and he's grabbing by the and all that. That's what Trump is. If that's the case, tell me. Are you a never Republican until he's gone? Are you? 1-800-848-9222. I just wonder. Again, I think I like where I'm at. I like my position that I have come all the way around because it's based on performance. It's based on credibility and winning and promises made and promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. And listen, if you are still a never Trumper, and listen, I'm the father of 2 daughters and the husband of a strong, impressive woman. If your principles begin and end with what he was accused of and what he has been convicted of in the civil case, if you're principled and that's where your principles lie, I respect it. Call and let's talk about it. I'm fascinated to hear why anyone would be a never Trumper. And I'm not challenging you and saying that you're wrong or how dare you or what a fool. I'm genuinely curious about Republicans who are never Trumpers. And of course, by the way, always, I'm dying for a lib to give a call. I'm dying for a lefty. If you are a Mamdani fan, you go right to the front of the line. Right to the front of the line. Give me a Mamdani fan. Please. For the love of God and all that is holy, Allah be praised. Give me a Mamdani fan. So, when we come back, we're going to talk to Jeff and Russ. A little bit later, we're going to talk to Assemblyman Matt Slater about AOC and Mamdani and this rising tide of absolute insane leftism in New York. How the hell we got here and what the heck we can do to get out of it. And by the way, what do we do? What do we do? We got to come up with some kind of plan for this Mamdani. I don't want to even talk anymore about what he's going to do. I don't even want to talk about policies and he's going to defund and he's going to, the state-owned, city-owned supermarkets and stuff. I mean, that's all dire and it's all information we have to hold. But those things that he has stated, his platform, my thing is, okay, I get the platform. It's insane. He's nuts. It'll kill New York City. And it will send our tax base, our wealthy on the Upper East and the Upper West, out of this town. My question is, what do we do? How do we keep this nut, this vile anti-Semite? The fact that this guy is the anti-Semite that he is, in the Jewish capital of America. How does this guy have a pulse politically? How? Yeah. It's another side of midnight. I'm TJ McCormick. It's 77 WABC. I'm going to take a breath, have a sip of my Diet Coke. Oh, and the name I chose was Dude. I have the Dude bottle of Diet Coke. All right. Okay. We got a Mamdani fan. Okay, cool. All right. We'll get you right to the front of the line there, Pally. 2:31. We shall return here on 77 WABC, 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight. I'm TJ. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, family. Early morning, crazy people. Early morning. 2:36, kind of early here on a Saturday. My name is TJ McCormick. It's another side of midnight on 77 WABC. And the number is 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. A friend of mine told me to slow down when I give the number. So I'm slowing down. So we're talking about this insanity that is Mamdani as compared to this calm, cool, and collected that is Trump. And in the next hour, in the 3 a.m. hour, we're going to be talking to New York State Assemblyman Matt Slater about AOC and Mamdani and that far left wing that is just taken over. And what is that far left wing all about? Well, here's a little taste of it.
Do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's what I'm focused on is dignity and taking on income inequality.
Dignity and taking on income inequality. And that's my brand of social. Yeah.
This guy is so full of it and so false. And any experiment in socialism has crashed and burned. Any experiment. And again, we don't have to get cute about it too. The guy is just a rotten anti-Semitic communist. He's like the best of this guy. He's like a Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Paul in New York City, line 3. I promised. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hi
good
there.
Morning, TJ.
Hi there. So, you're a fan.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
There's actually 2 or 3 of his points, but there's one particular one that I really am very happy with.
Okay.
And that's that he wants to open these food stores, okay, make it more affordable and such. Because right now, let me put it to you this way.
Mm-hmm.
I commute between here and the Bronx, okay?
Okay.
And in the Bronx, you've got dozens and dozens of these medium to large size Spanish bodega type stores.
Right.
They're like Spanish equivalent of a supermarket, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that their prices are off the leading wall. They're off, and every week the price goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no bargains. There are very, very few sales. Mm-hmm. They've got like umpteen people working in the store who don't speak English. And the prices are like, I wanted to buy a thing of cream cheese. Okay, it's a medium-sized thing of cream cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $8.49.
Right.
You got to be out of your bleeding mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the big problem here is when you go to the register, there's a little card on the aisle that says, okay, peanut butter is $2.99 a jar on sale this week. So you go up to the register, they scan it, it comes up $3.99.
Right.
And if you don't check your receipt, you get raped for $1. The way I figured it, I spoke to this guy from NYU, who's an accountant, and he told me, you got to realize one thing. Capitalism is great. Capitalism is wonderful, except for one thing. It's out of control. It's not bad. It's good, but it's out of control. Socialism sometimes works for a while. But the point is, capitalism is out of control.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
It's no good. And also, I would just want to add one final thing.
Sure.
I recommend you stop drinking Diet Coke.
Oh, okay. A lot of people have. Go ahead. Give me another reason to not sleep later. Go on. What's going to happen to me?
Okay. Diet Coke contains something called phenylalanine.
Oh, God.
That mutes down the sugar equivalent.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you get an affliction called PKU.
Oh, God. Wait. Slow down. What am I going to get? Because I believe this. God, I can't curse on the radio. Go on. What am I going to get? Tell me.
PKU, phenylketonuria. What happens with phenylketonuria is that over the course of 5 to 10 to 15 years, it basically softens your brain, it weakens your heart, and it also does ravage on your kidney and liver.
Well, it's got to be better than what I did to myself when I was drinking.
Well, let me put it this way. I've been drinking Coca-Cola for like 50 years, okay? Regular Coke. And I have no problem, no diabetes, no belly. And the problem is with Diet Coke, any diet soda is not good. Splenda is poison, okay? The point is, stay away from that stuff if you can.
But I can't. It's all I got left. I got no more smokes. I got no more women. I got no gamble. I got no booze. I got this. I got this. All I got, Paul. This and all right. Okay. All right. And so, okay. I'm gonna.
So, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I do. I do. Listen, and on the thing about and everybody, we're talking to Paul. Paul's a fan of Momani, and we're going to get to Russ and Jeff in a second. Here on 77 WABC, it's another side of midnight. It's another side of the conversation. We're finally talking to somebody here in New York who digs what Momani. But now, what about the rest of it, though? Because he's a package, right, Paul? I mean, it's not just about and listen. Mr. Katz here lives and breathes. He is the supermarket industry, John Catsimatidis. And, he could give you chapter and verse as to why those bodegas are in the situation they are and why the New York City situation is what it is from a retail supermarket standpoint. But I just don't see how a city-owned supermarket is going to either A, do better than that price-wise, and B, I think it's a false notion, a false narrative to say that things are going to be cheaper because you got to pay for the city-owned supermarkets, and you got to pay for all the subsidized food, and you got to pay for everything else that he wants to do, the socialized housing, the rent freezes, and we're also going to pay a whole different kind of price, Paul, when he stops the cops on overtime, when he starts knocking down the police force and switching them out for social workers. I mean, what about the rest of the package, Paul?
But the problem is, like with police overtime, you've got cops making. There were two cops that made 158.
Good, God bless him.
Year.
Good. There are teachers. There are teachers making $158,000 a year too. That whole notion, that whole narrative, that drives me nuts to this day. The narrative that teachers are. And I know you didn't mention teachers, but I'm just going to go on a tangent. The idea, this notion that teachers are eating cat food and living with bare light bulbs in a basement apartment somewhere. That's all false. Teachers are great. Cops earn every $158,000, every penny of that they earn, especially in New York. Well, I have no problem with a cop making overtime.
But my point of this is that he's working OT, heavy OT, for two reasons. Because they won't assign a recent graduate who's got a year or two on the force to do part of his job. They don't want that. They want a cop with 8 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years to do the job hour after hour, 16 hours a day. It's no good. And I think the stores that we were talking about, the government stores, would be much better. Anything's better than these bodegas.
Well, better than bodegas, but at the same time, though, just that. And thank you, Paul. Thank you for calling in. I am grateful, and don't be a stranger. Make sure you stay close, especially during this upcoming election. All right. But I just think that it's just a false economy to say that a government owned store is going to be able to is the answer to food deserts. And you know what I think the answer to food deserts is? I think it's farmers markets. I think it's that sort of nonprofit thing. I think it's Catholic charities and other nonprofits bringing farmers markets and that sort of fresh food produce to places like the South Bronx. You know, a farmers market. You know, once or twice a week on the Grand Concourse. That's how you make a difference. Jeff in Queens, you've been waiting a heck of a long time. Thanks for hanging in there, Jeff. Good morning.
Thank you. I just wanted to comment on Mr. Bowman.
Yes.
I think the race car has declined, and I think everybody's exhausted hearing about race.
The race card has declined. That's a great line.
It's declined. It's insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. Yeah.
Cut that card up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take that card and throw it out.
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe Mr. Bowman did some exercise and laid off the fried foods. And if the N-words bother him so bad, perhaps you have a little meeting with some of your producer record label people that say, hey, listen, maybe we shouldn't put this word in every other lyric in some of these songs these young up-and-coming wonderful artists.
Oh, yeah, that's
that makes too much sense.
I
right?
know, buddy. I know. It's the debate of all debates. They say, oh, look, I'm looking through the glass at two black men. And it's like, yes, Bill just waved to me. And it's like, it's such a cliche when you hear white people say, well, they can say it. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make the word okay. But at the same time, when Jamal Bowman is telling me that he's chubby because of the N-word, that's just silly. That's as silly as pulling a fire alarm. Jeff, I got to jump because we got people waiting. So, but thank you. But that's a great line. Got insufficient funds on the race card. I like that. It's 2:47. So listen, we got Russ, Pete, and Chris right there. Everybody hang in. We're going to take this quarter of the hour break here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. We got a great thing going at the top of the hour. We're going to get over to Assemblyman Matt Slater and really dig into from whence all this comes, all of this Mamdani and AOC stuff. And we're going to dig in a little bit more to the Jamal Bowman thing here on Another Side of Midnight. And then in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk a little bit of recovery. And the whole time I'll be just dwelling on what exactly I'm developing in my liver from my Diet Coke, which is the only vice I have left. I'm TJ McCormick. On the downside of everything now. Here on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on 77 WABC. We'll be right back. It's Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick here on 77 WABC. Go say hi to me on Twitter, on X, at TJ McCormick. Works out perfectly. At TJ McCormick on Twitter, X, whatever. Again, grab the 77 WABC app. You can take us with you on your phone everywhere you go. And should you find yourself globetrotting, a great place to settle down with us is WABCradio.com. In fact, yes, by all means. I believe my wife and daughters might actually be listening to me right now as they are currently en route to my in-laws' house. They just landed in England, so I'm one of them. I follow the app. I watch that plane take off, and I watch it all the way through, and I watch it land virtually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm that kind of nut. Oh, God, what a peach I am. What a peach. I'm a nut. I'm out of my mind. But I'm here for you. I'm your nut. At 2:51, let's go over to Russ in White Plains. Russ, good morning.
Hi, TJ.
Hey.
One nut attracts another nut because that caller, Paul, who supports Mamdani but doesn't like immigrant bodegas because they don't speak English, I mean, he must have been a Trump supporter. If he wants a bad experience, go to Stop and Shop and try the fruits and vegetables. They're all rotten at the Stop and Shop.
It's disgusting.
It's terrible. But, I've voted for Trump twice. I didn't vote in the Hillary-Trump race, but the last two times I voted for Trump, and I voted for Mondami because I'm registered in New York. I just stay up here with my mother at nights. Okay. But I think that Trump caused Mondami because he's perceived as chasing immigrants and attacking Iran on behalf of Israel. So a lot of Trump voters out in Queens and Brooklyn developed buyer's remorse about Trump. And so they are the ones who are voting for Mondami.
Already? Do you really think already, Russ, that he's soured them and turned them into Mamdani supporters? People go ahead.
My experience.
Yeah.
The first time around with Trump, I was pretty solid with him in his first term. The second one now, he's on steroids, and he's doing things that make me regret voting for him. Then he does something good. Then he does something I don't like. I mean, I don't care for Israel first, okay? Right. And a lot of people in this country, and I'm Jewish, don't care for this America First policy. And watching him chase immigrants and birthright citizenship, he has sunk his chances in the midterm. And that is why I'm telling you, Trump voters voted for Mondami. And I'll tell you what real leftists think, because I listen to WBAI. They think of the DSA as running campaigns ideologically and then governing as practical politicians, just like Democrats. So people who keep twitching about Mondami, they don't get it. Keep twitching, because you're going to waste your time on that. And I'll tell you, Teddy Roosevelt challenged capitalism. He was a Republican. And Abe Lincoln, a Republican, introduced the income tax. So people should get a idea of history. And I'll tell you, Curtis Slee was going to run. You'd have to throw Curtis in the back of a cab, lock the doors, and start shooting to keep him from running.
He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, he hates Adams. And so what's going to happen is Curtis is going to pummel Eric Adams relentlessly. He never says anything about Mondami because Curtis likes Mondami, believe me. And Adams will ignore Curtis and look negative going after Zoran. And Mondami will stay above the fray, maintain the positive vibes, and that's going to separate him from the squad. He's not AOC. He's not Jazzy Crockett. He's not Jamal.
All right. I'm saying, listen, let me jump. I want to make sure I get to everybody before we get to the top of the hour. But Russ, thanks. That was pretty damn clear. I mean, that's a hell of a case. That makes sense. And, but again, it's just not going to fly. It's just not going to work. I mean, in the end, this city will be in chaos. I mean, this is, and again, too, think about the delivery system. Think about the vessel. This is a 33-year-old who's never, you know what this 33-year-old joke has done? Where is that thing? He's done this. Yeah, cut 30. Yeah, cut 30. He's done this. This is something to be proud of right here. Cut 30. Dopey name, Mr. Cardamom. This is him rapping. Mr. Cardamom. All right, yeah, okay, cool, kill it. Hey, Mr. Cardamom. Mr. Allspice. Mr. Curry. Mr. Vindaloo. I don't know. Mr. Cardamom. Pete in Staten Island. Good morning, Peter on 4. Hello, Pete.
Boy, you were singing along, and I've got news for you. You got a nice voice.
Thank you, Pete.
I love Lionel, but Lionel sounds like Ethel Merman, when he starts.
I can do Ethel Merman, too.
Yes, but,
everything's coming up, Rose. Okay.
Yep. Well, when I worked for Stagecamp for Saturday Night Live, I worked with Sinatra. I worked with Linda Ronstadt. I dated her, and that was my problem.
Pete dated Linda Ronstadt.
So
nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Pete, nobody believes you. Was that you? Was she sing when she sang "You're no good, you're no good"? Was that you?
Yeah, because I was messing around with.
She was singing about. Okay. You and okay. All right. Pete was messing with Debbie Harry and Linda Ronstadt. He had Cher on the side, and down around the corner was, oh, God. Okay, we got just a couple seconds here. Let's get to Chris in the Catskills. Chris, good morning. You have an interesting point to make. I'm curious.
Yeah, political system is being dumbed down, less effective governance. There's a deterrence away from problem solving and problem mitigation because both sides of the aisle, everybody is following movements and ideologies. You know, you have Zohan in AOC and Bernie Sanders, and it's the socialist ideology. And Trump has branded the MAGA movement, which started with the Tea Party movement. And if you look at the elected officials that are in office now versus decades ago, they're less articulate, less intelligent, less well-educated. The sides don't get along anymore. Nobody's solving problems or mitigating problems. Somebody like a Frank Morano now that's a policy wonk. He's an aberration in a sense.
And you know what? I'll be curious to hear what you have to say. And feel free, feel free to get back after we talk to Matt Slater, because Matt Slater is actually one of those very intelligent elected officials who knows policy, knows the issues. He knows it from the ground up. He's been a staffer. He's been a town supervisor in Westchester County, and now he is an assemblyman, and so and working in a super minority up in Albany. So I'd be curious after you hear us talk to him in the next hour, if you want to call back and give me your impression. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about Matt there, Chris. So as we wind towards the top of the hour, I'm going to ask that Larry and Melvin hang in there through the news, okay? Because I want to talk to you before we go into our conversation with Assemblyman Matt Slater after the 3 o'clock news. So please, Larry and Melvin, if you can, hang in there, listen to the news, listen to the spots. And when we come back, we'll talk to you guys, and then we'll talk to Assemblyman Matt Slater here on Another Side of Midnight with T.J. McCormick on 77 WABC, 1-800-848-9222. Good morning once again. Welcome back. It's 3:07 here at 77 WABC. My name is TJ McCormick. It's Another Side of Midnight with me. And on the other side of this couple of phone calls, we're going to be speaking with New York State Assemblyman Matt Slater, talking about his recent dust-up with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, otherwise known as Sandy from Yorktown. And also his dealings with Mamdani up there in Albany, his colleague on the other side of way on the other side of the aisle. Zoran Mamdani is a New York State Assemblyman out of Queens. And Matt has some very interesting things to say about him and this just far left movement, this jerk movement to the left. Matt knows his stuff, and it's a great conversation that we have. And we're talking to anyone who wants to chime in. I almost did it again. Mamdani. Mamdani sounds like it sounds like a wine label. Ah, yes, Mamdani wines. Try the Chianti. Does anybody drink Chianti anymore in the baskets? Is Chianti even? I've been out of drinking for like 20 years now, so I don't know. Is Chianti a thing? Beaujolais, I know everybody gets in on that early Beaujolais, the fresh wine. Rosé, right? Rosé all day, all day. Anyway, 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. We're talking about the New York City mayor's race. Of course. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I mean, we know what Mamdani's going to do, but I'm thinking we got to start now. Again, Curtis ain't going nowhere. Curtis isn't leaving. He's not going to pack it up. Nowhere. He is in. And Adams, has he had his shot? Somebody's going to have to get out. Somebody's going to have to get. I'm just wondering though, what's our strategy? Because again, Mamdani's not going anywhere. I think we just have to take this guy apart. We have to expose him for all of the joke that he is. He is a walking, living, breathing punchline. He was a rapper named Mr. Cardamom. He worked on his mom's Disney film. The guy has nothing. He has no record of substance at all. Larry's been hanging in there, and so is Melvin. So let's go to Melvin in the Bronx, line 3. Good morning, Melvin. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate that.
I'm a firm believer in solutions, and my experience from working with former late great Councilman Wendell Foster and the late State Senator Joe Garber, the general election is more than 4 months away.
Mm-hmm.
People make mistakes, but they're not exactly stupid. They got too much, and based on what happened in the past, there's very few little knocking on doors. This gentleman right here, he has to go out there and meet the people. And if he cannot articulate or get the impression that he's a fit individual for whatever the position he's running for, well, you got at least 4 people running for mayor. The vote is going to be split. It's going to come down who can best articulate their position and get their people to come out and vote for them. It never fails. I've seen it every election.
Yeah.
If you can't get out there and get your people to vote for you, you're not going to get nowhere.
And that's the thing, Melvin, is that, and thank you for calling, buddy. I do appreciate it. That's the thing, gang. You know, my time in politics as a strategist and a comms guy or a writer and, you know, doing commercials and stuff like that, it is all about the retail. It's about knocking on doors. You can show up at all the farmers markets and all the carnivals. You can you can kiss all the hands and shake all the babies that you want. Ultimately, it's not about showing up at the parades and going on to, it is about knocking on doors, retail doorstep politics. And Mamdani, from what I have heard and understand, has an army of believers. These robots, these maniacs for this guy. And they're out there and they're knocking and they're knocking and they're knocking. Larry from Brooklyn on line 2. You've been waiting as well, and I'm grateful for your hanging in there. Good morning, Larry. You're on Another Side of Midnight with me.
Good morning, TJ. Listen,
yes.
Russ gets a premonition, and then he goes into his own imaginary universe. He happens to be right. His premonition is right. Trump did cause Mamdani to rise up and win. But he didn't articulate the reason because he didn't know it. And I'll tell you what the reason was.
Okay.
The reason was when Trump indulged Adams in getting him off the hook for the federal indictment, he said, touche to the left. He started a war with the left and he didn't know it. So now he has to finish the war because when you mess with the left, they try to rise up and defeat you. So Trump has to finish the war now. Adams is a dead letter. No one's going for him. He's a spoiler, and he should get out of the race and make room for Curtis.
Yeah.
Because Trump is ruined the whole thing. Now he has to finish the job, Trump. He has to come in and federalize the justice system of New York and show the left he ain't playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
playing.
that. I think there's other ways to show that he ain't playing other than federalizing the New York City Police Department and law enforcement. It's not what we do. It's not what we're about. And that's not practical or pragmatic. It's just not. I mean, I think there's other cooler, swifter, smarter, more creative ways to handle this. But one of them is not sweeping in and federalizing the New York City Police Department, Larry. But I got to jump because I want to get over to our conversation with New York State Assemblyman Matt Slater. And, I think we're going to get to that right now. And we are joined now on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick here on 77 WABC by Matt Slater, Assemblyman representing the 94th Assembly District up in Westchester and Putnam counties. Good morning, Assemblyman. Welcome to Another Side of Midnight.
Hey there, TJ. How you doing? And most importantly, happy birthday, buddy. Hope you had a great day.
You are awesome for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, yes, I am feeling that much slower this morning. But you know what, man? Though you've been burning the oil all day today. You started off your day on Fox and Friends first, so Lord knows that's an early call because you've been getting a whole lot of attention with this back and forth. Well, at least you've taken a shot at AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her claims of being a Bronx girl. Meanwhile, you know AOC from where she really grew up.
That's right, TJ. You know, I know AOC wants to continue to peddle this lie that she is a product of the Bronx, but AOC is a product of the suburbs. And I know that because she was on my track team in Yorktown High School when I was a senior, and she was a freshman. And I saw her attacks on President Trump the other day when she was acting like a big old tough girl from the Bronx, and I just got fed up with her lies. And so I had my yearbook next to me, actually, and I just took a picture of her in my yearbook, and I said, hey, if you're a Bronx girl, why are you in my Yorktown yearbook? Because we're from the suburbs. We're not the Bronx. And then, you know, it just took off from there.
It really is. It really is something, you know, there should be some value placed on, on intellectual honesty, on honesty. You know, look, I've said many times that when Bernie Sanders, okay, we'll stay in that end of the spectrum. There were times when I thought Bernie Sanders might have been the most intellectually honest person running for president on either side, depending on which primary and which presidential race you were talking about, you know, because he pretty much said what he meant and he meant what he said. You know, if you're going to go out there and be a socialist, a Democrat socialist, you know, if you're going to be a member of the squad and go out there and dip your toe in far left waters, you know, at least have some integrity, you know. AOC is just full of it.
Exactly. And again, you know, when these progressives, when the biggest problem that we're seeing right now with the Democratic Party as a whole is this lack of authenticity. And so they're creating these progressives like AOC, like Gavin Newsom in his weird podcast where his hands don't know what to do, like Tim Walz, right? And they have to create these fake candidates because they can't win the elections on the issues, and so they're going around like a contest trying to find the right people to run in the right districts, and they just make up these stories about them, and like we're seeing here. And finally, like I said, I had enough. You know, AOC wants to pretend like she's from the Bronx. The fact is simple. She is a product of the suburbs, and that's against her brand, and that's a problem for her. But everybody knows it. Everybody in the town that we grew up in knows it. I still live in that town. I'm raising my kids in that town. And everybody knows that it is a bold-faced lie when she says she's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from the Bronx because she grew up right in Yorktown.
It's, you know, and I wonder this, you know, you also wonder, you know, why? You know, she's there. If she really has these views, and there's no shame in making that move. If she felt that she had a more organic connection to the Bronx, if she felt that, you know, she related more to the people of the inner city and some of the poorest zip codes in America, well, then that's fine. Say that you're there now and that you've come to work for them on their behalf, but she's simply using those people.
Yeah, I mean, again, the connection there, and if she wanted to say she was going back to her roots, and I think, you know, we can all acknowledge, sure, she's, you know, her life started in the Bronx, but she is a product of the suburbs. That's not the message that she's putting out there and has built her entire career on. And I think because of that false narrative, it really begs the question, what else has she tricked the people that she's representing about? And when you see her record and you see all the crazy far left issues that she continues to peddle, it really does just boggle the mind that someone can just be plucked out of one community, put into another, and it becomes this national, if not global figure and the darling of the extreme left. And now she's endorsing Momani. You know, she's been very big in his campaign for the New York City mayor's race. which is going to be an unmitigated disaster. I mean, that guy is just dangerously unqualified to be the nominee for New York City mayor. And he has her support as the, darling of the Democratic Party and the DSA. And again, I want to go back to those suburban values, because when you look at what they're talking about, suburban values, as we all know, are low taxes, safe communities, good schools, economic opportunity. But instead, what do they want to do? They want to defund the police. They want to tax people out of this state. I mean, people are already leaving New York City. Yeah. They're running out the door. Yeah. And they want to replace small businesses with things like government-run grocery stores. I mean, what are we doing here? It is nuts. But that is, again, AOC, Mamdani just going completely bonkers, hard left, and they were just peddling the DSA's platform right into New York City. And it's going to have not just statewide implications, but it's going to have national implications in a whole host of ways.
Talking to Assemblyman Matt Slater here on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on 77 WABC, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. You bring up Mamdani and this just dumpster fire of a situation. Should this guy actually now? He's currently an assemblyman. People forget that that he's actually currently an elected official. He's Correct. Your colleague in Albany, so you've seen him up close. What is this guy like? What is it like to serve with him?
He is the head of the DSA caucus in Albany in the Democratic Conference, and frankly, I've served on the Real Property Tax Committee with him. I sat next to him on the committee, and he would always lean over to me and say, "Hey, we're both red, just two different shades," because he doesn't hide his true feelings. Mm-hmm. He is a devout socialist. He is not even trying to hide it. And the fact that he is now the nominee of the Democratic Party for New York City mayor, one of the most prestigious offices in the entire world, it is just mind-blowing that the Democratic Party has gotten to this point. And again, when you look at the other candidates that ran against him, you look at crazy Cuomo, and honestly, who would have ever thought for a second, by the way, that he would have been the best option, considering the disaster that he left New York State in, and all the problems that he had. But honestly, he's a heck of a lot better than Mamdani, because Mamdani, with his DSA platform, his anti-Semitism, those are serious issues that are going to have just an unbelievable impact on New York City and New York State and across the country.
Yeah, I mean, again, city-owned grocery stores. He wants to put a multi-year freeze on rent-stabilized apartments.
Which is completely illegal, by the way. He doesn't even have the ability to do that.
Okay, so his platform is against the law.
Well, he also wants to arrest, Prime Minister Netanyahu when he comes to New York City. How are you going to do that there, Mayor Mamdani? I mean, the things that he actually has said out loud are those crazy things that you say, in a dark closet that no one should hear. But he has no problem going out and telling New Yorkers, this is exactly what I'm going to do, because it's just nuts. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, it is insane. Again, we're talking to Assemblyman Matt Slater, represents Westchester and Putnam counties here in New York, and he has seen and worked with Mamdani up close. He said it on CNN last night that he's not a fan of capitalism, and here he wants to be the mayor of the city that is the absolute seat of capitalism around the world. His whole plan of taxing wealthier, whiter areas is going to go to crap right off the bat, because a lot of those people are just going to move the hell out. I tell you what, Miami better start building some buildings for a new financial district, because that's where they're all headed. They're all going to head down south.
Miami, Texas, Wall Street already has one foot out the door heading to Texas. We all know that. Yep. And now if Mamdani actually becomes the mayor of New York City, you can basically kiss it all away. And not to mention, by the way, he also wants to have free buses. Meanwhile, the MTA hasn't collected $1 billion a year in fares, and they want to go and pass congestion pricing. How do you think that's going to keep going? I mean, all he wants to do is tax the hell out of everybody else so he can placate to his electorate. That is there. That is their playbook every time. That's AOC's playbook. That is his playbook. And we, the rest of us, are left holding the bill. And that is why New York State as a whole is just such a dumpster fire right now, because it's just spending out of control. And New York City is a major driver to that. And if you're going to have a mayor of that city who is just completely out of his mind, who just wants to create this socialist utopia, who do you think is going to be left holding the bill? It's going to be every single New Yorker from, Long Island to the Hudson Valley up to the North Country. And you think it's bad now, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. And again, Assemblyman Matt Slater, I'm wondering this too. It's funny. Hochul has yet to open her mouth. She hasn't said anything. We did hear from one of the lamest of the lame. We did hear from Kirsten Gillibrand today. All of a sudden, she started chirping from out of nowhere. She scared the hell out of me. All of a sudden, I was like, Jesus, that's Gillibrand said something. It's going to be interesting.
You had Tom Suozzi and Laura Gillen out in Long Island, 2 Democratic Congress members.
Right.
It's the minute he won, they're going, oh my God, what is happening here? We can't. They're throwing the flag.
They brought this about. They enabled this. They've been silent. They've been complicit and silent all along to let this guy ferment and foment and get to where he is.
Of course they did. But now that their constituents are going, what the hell is wrong with you people? How did you let this happen? They're going, oh, we didn't do it. We're against this guy. We need to find some other option. Well, come on. I mean, it's pathetic. It really is. How just they let this thing grow, this monster grow out of control, which is really what the DSA is. Yeah. It's this bubbling monster that they would just continue to turn the heat up on when they need their votes. And now it's out of control, and you know they can't stop it.
And you just said it right there too. That whole boiling, the boiled frog thing, and Chinese water torture. Look, is that racist? It's to say, the drip, 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 that slow drip, drip, drip. We've been normalizing phrases like socialism, democratic socialism. We've been normalizing this sort of attack on police and this looking the other way at broken windows. It's been a slow, steady, quiet, again, normalization. And it comes down to, again, it's also funny too to see suddenly, just like Gillibrand starts chirping up. Here was the New York Times in a flurry at the end of the primary process saying, "Do not go near this guy's Mamdani. Do not go near him." This was the New York Times that basically helped, usher in this era of Mamdani and AOC.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. And again, they've all created this out of control monster now that they can't stop. And the results from a policy standpoint is horrific. From a public safety standpoint is horrific. From an affordability standpoint is horrific. Yeah. And they don't know how to stop it other than saying, well, we're against these people now because, it's too extreme for us. Well, guys, you built it. Yeah. You own this now.
Yeah, it's all yours. So just to bring it back to our favorite congresswoman, the woman who owns a $70,000 Tesla, lives in the most expensive apartments in Washington D.C. Goes out and flies private with Bernie. And so she's
really in touch with her constituents.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The Latina oligarch from Yorktown. Have you heard from her? Has she answered yet?
No, I have not. Not to my knowledge. Has she acknowledged any of the noise that's been going on about this? But
I've been retweeting,
and that's kind of par for the course because it is so damaging for her brand. Yeah. That's the bottom line. Yeah. And I've seen past reports where one time she said she commuted to Yorktown in the suburbs from the Bronx. But my favorite one is, I would go back to the Bronx because I had extended family there that I was visiting. Well, I have extended family in Long Island. Does that mean I'm from Long Island now? Right. I mean, what does that even mean?
It means nothing. Yeah,
absolutely. And so she was trying to cover her tracks early on, but the facts are the facts, and she is a product of the suburbs, and the people who she represents, knowing that, it would not help her get elected, and that is why they tried like hell to bury it under, 2 tons of concrete so that it never saw the light of day. Yeah. And the rest of us who actually know who she is, who know what house she grew up in, who, knew her in school, it is just, we finally just had enough. Yeah. We finally just had enough of just the blatant lies.
I love it. It's so cool. And again, too, the funny thing, I love the context of you're on the track team. It's like,
yeah. If
like,
you get your hands on the yearbook, it says Sandy Ocasio.
I love
That's what it says.
I love it. Sandy Ocasio.
Yeah.
Well, listen, everybody, you can go and follow along with the saga. Matt Slater is at Slater4 New York, the number 4, at Slater, the number 4 New York. Is it NY or New York? What
NY.
Is it? NY. Yeah. At Slater4, the number 4 NY on X and everywhere else. Follow him on Facebook and all the other places. He's doing great work for the people of New York. He's fighting a good fight against a supermajority that is getting further and further crazy to the left, and he's a friend of the show, and so thank you, Matt Slater. We will follow along.
And TJ, I would just add, we've got to come together right now and really unite to make sure the DSA doesn't get another foothold anywhere in this state. Now I'm teaming up with a great guy, Congressman Mike Lawler, one of the perennial leaders of New York State, to combat this. And so, for anyone listening, please do not sit on the sidelines. Get involved. We have to save this city. We have to save this state, and we've got the people to do it. And so you can't sit on the sideline anymore. There's just too much at risk.
Indeed. Yep. Mike Lawler, also a friend of the show, and he's a regular, as are you. And we will definitely keep talking to you there. Matt Slater, Assemblyman for the 94th Assembly District in Westchester and Putnam counties. Thank you for fighting a good fight there, Assemblyman. Appreciate it.
You got it, TJ. Happy birthday, buddy. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Don't work too hard.
Thank you. I shall not. Oh, no. I'm going to work really hard for the people, for the listeners of 77 WABC. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you again, Assemblyman.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. And we will continue to work really, really hard for you. The Early Morning Family here on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick here on 77 WABC. That guy's got it all together. He's got it all together. He knows his stuff. And few and far between are the articulate, amazing, knowledgeable elected officials. I hate the politicians. Elected officials like Matt Slater. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. Quick break, come back, talk to you, 1-800-848-WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight. I am TJ McCormick. Happy birthday to me. It is so, I love Liverpool. People get over there to England, London. We were talking earlier, is New York City still a great city? Is it, resting on its laurels? Are we grandfathering in New York City as a great city? A great? Okay, maybe amongst the greatest? I don't know. I love London. I really love Liverpool. And just please, if you ever go over to the UK and you do the usual stuff, you do London, you do, maybe you take a train out to whatever, Oxford, you go see some of the countryside. Do yourself a favor. Grab a train, not even 2 hours north. Get one of the expresses. About 2 hours, you're just dropped right smack in the middle of Liverpool. And go and do it. Liverpool is so underrated. It's so magnificent. It's great. It's got history, the Beatles, all that stuff. And it's where my wife is from. And they're right now in Liverpool. My wife and daughters, they left yesterday. And this morning they are there. So I cannot recommend it any more highly. 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You can go over to Twitter and say hi at TJ McCormick, at me. By all means. So we're talking about AOC and Momani and all of this Michigas. And, the guy is, do me a favor, I know you're stretching, Tone. Would you please hit for me? I want to do this cut here with Zandani. I did it again. It's Momdani. It's Momdani. Kind of a loser am I? This thing right here where he is just screaming. Oh, yeah. Cut 25. This is so simple. This is cut 25's Momdani in. How many That's not okay. That's not becoming of of the mayor of New York City. It's just not. And he's screaming about the First Amendment. I guess that's about gathering and that version of public expression and gathering and protest. That I don't know what the hell he's talking about there, what he's screaming about, but he's screaming at Tom Homan. This guy again. Remember, raise your hand if you were an idiot when you were 33. And this guy is not a prodigy, nothing. This guy is not like a really impressive 33-year-old. He's 33 going on 60. No. 5 years ago, this moron was Mr. Cardamom, and he was rapping badly. He doesn't believe in law and order. He doesn't believe. You know what? Just wait. Again, sometimes even I find myself being distracted by the not so bad stuff. The guy is a raving anti-Semite. The guy says Israel does not have the right to exist. He would arrest Bibi Netanyahu if he set foot in New York. That alone, in this great Judeo-Christian Muslim city, okay? In this city, this melting pot where Muslims walk amongst the streets with Jews and Jews with Christians and Catholics and Orthodox and Hasidim, and it's disqualified. Just right here, right this, okay? You cannot be an anti-Semite. You cannot say that Israel doesn't have the right to exist. And that's disqualifying. It's over right there. Drop dead right there. The Upper West Side, our Jewish friends on the Upper West Side, our well-moneyed friends of all denominations on the Upper East Side, you better start circling your gilded wagons. Get out and protect this city that you love so much. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. It's another side of midnight. I'm TJ. Let's talk to Silas on Long Island. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello, good night. Bye-bye. Hey there, Silas. Good morning.
Yeah, well, the Democrat Party is where losers go to excel. You can see it with Mamdani. You can see it with Ocasio-Cortez. You can see it with the governor of California.
Yeah.
But it's like heroin. Heroin will make you feel good, feel nice, and then it'll take your soul. And that's exactly what the Democrat Party is doing now. And it doesn't matter where Ocasio came from. Yeah, she grew up, in a good neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump grew up in wealth. And look at what a great person he became. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people who grew up in wealth, and look how stupid they are, like Gavin Newsom. So where you came from doesn't matter. I'm thanking God that some successful black people who are rappers and stuff and athletes are getting off this bandwagon. Because look at what Michael Jackson did when he was 35. He had talent, and he showed it. Mamdani has no talent, has no ideas, and so he jumps to the Democrat Party, and they embrace him. Mm-hmm. And he knows that even if he loses this time, he becomes a millionaire, and he's going to try again.
Yeah.
Cuomo, he becomes a millionaire, and he's going to try again. Cuomo has no ideas, and I pray that Curtis Leawood does not drop out.
He won't.
If he even thinks of it, I'm going to yoke him and tell him, act like a man.
God, you got to act like a man. Oh, Godfather.
And believe me, he will. He will not put up with that.
Nah.
Because that's how the power brokers try to say, oh, he's got to get out. Because they want to force their person on you. If they can't force Mamdani on you, then they'll force
a loser like Adams on you. And at least we see Adams as a loser.
Yeah.
Don't hate the man. He just doesn't have the talent.
Yeah, no, he just
He
doesn't. And look, I give him credit for getting out there, and he started they have the the tweets, and while they're out there, the tweets, I'm on the streets. I mean, he's getting into a groove. He's doing his thing.
The Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, float like a butterfly, and I mean, and look, I mean, it is amazing how once the sunlight hits a jackass like Mamdani, then suddenly, a Flash Harry, which is a Liverpool term, a Flash Harry like Adams, looks competent, looks like, a scholar. And, so it's just this game. Wait, hold on, wait. This is Mr. Cardamom. I don't know what's worse, being an anti-Semite or this rap. What's worse?
Well, being a loser like Mamdani, the fact is, look at how many people in the past who rose up to prominence and destroyed their own cities. I mean, from Hitler on down.
Yeah.
Look at the people who other people who thought, oh, this will be easy. Oh, they had they're charismatic. Let's go for them.
Can I ask you a question? You just said something, and every once in a while, again, I use this term. Sometimes it takes me a little while for the penny to drop because I'm slow. I talk fast, but intellectually, sometimes I'm slow. Here's the thing. Silas, can I ask you this? I wonder, and maybe I'm just asking the royal Silas. I'm just asking everybody, but I got Silas on the phone right here. What? And by the way, it's me, TJ. It's another side of midnight here on 77 WABC. It's 3:45. We're going to go to a break in a second. But let me ask you this: going into this break, how is it that we have people like Trump and Tom Homan and other Republicans that are referred to as Hitler? We hear 1930s in reference to Trump. Meanwhile, the only person who's saying Israel doesn't have a right to exist, the person who's out there running around wearing a keffiyeh, which is a 21st century swastika, Mamdani, nobody has the nerve or the wherewithal to say that's Hitler. Because the only one who really sounds like and acts like Hitler to me is Mamdani. And
you nailed it. You nailed it, and look at how many people accept him. Just like I said with heroin, look how many people accept it. Some people realize this stuff is no good for them, and they get off it. Other ones just want to keep living with the easy way. They want to take the easy way out, and they'll accept an idiot no matter how stupid his ideas are or her ideas. Like that one on the courthouse, Cassie Brown, whatever, the woman who doesn't know what a woman is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody wants to say, you're just an idiot. Because, oh, my God, you're misogynist. Oh, you hate blacks. No. Right. I love black people. I'm black.
Right.
He's just an idiot.
Silas, every damn time you call this show, you make it better. And so I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much. I got to run, but you're awesome. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to talk to Sandra and Steve. Sandra and Steve, do not move, do not move, do not move. It is 3:47 here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. My name is TJ McCormick, and we are talking about a lot of stuff. Very important things. Mamdani, you got to be kidding me. Mr. Cardamom, shut up. He's an anti-Semite. You can't be the mayor of New York City. The city, you can't hold the same office as Ed Koch. Wonderful Jew. You can't go there if you're an anti-Semite. That alone. All right, gang. We shall return in just a moment. I'm TJ McCormick. It's another side of midnight on 77 WABC. It's so nice to be coming of age. It's a little much, I got to say. The hormones rage, and sometimes I say the wrong thing, and I get overwhelmed at a party. Actually, you know what's funny? I'm making these jokes, but it's true. Oh my God, I'm making jokes. I'm saying this as if I'm a girl turning 16, but I'm a man who just turned 57, and I am overwhelmed by hormones. I am awkward at parties. I do say the wrong thing all the time. I don't try on bras over my tank tops, but that was the joke. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. My name is TJ McCormick. It's Another Side of Midnight. In the next hour, we're going to be, and by the way, thank you so much as we talk about getting into the next hour. Thank you for all these hours that you spend with me. This early morning family, it's going fantastic. You are doing wonderful things by listening to this show. And the response has been amazing. And the station here is loving what you're doing with me, what we do together. It's all going really well. So just, stay right there and stay with me. And thank you. And you can just give a call anytime, 1-800-848-9222. In the next hour, we're going to be talking about we're going to talk a little bit about recovery, if you want. I got a couple of other issues, a couple of other life things to bring up a little bit. I want to talk about Jeff Bezos' wedding, but not so much about what it was, what he did, and I think if Bezos wanted to really make an impression, you know what he should have done? He shouldn't have gone to I'll tell you what he should have done in the next hour. Okay? 4 o'clock hour, I will tell you what I think Jeff Bezos should have done that would have really made a splash, would have really made a statement, and been a whole hell of a lot better than just renting out half of Venice. Seriously. Sandra in New Jersey, good morning. Hi, Sandra.
Good morning. Good morning. You're so much fun to listen to, TJ.
Oh, thank you.
TJ, you're welcome. I wanted to share an incident with you that happened the other day, and I really want your reaction.
Okay.
My friend lives in a high-rise in Manhattan, and she happens to be Jewish, and she's really upset about this.
Okay.
Mamdami's staff member went to her building with a list of all the names of the Jewish residents in that building. And that staff member goes to the concierge and says, I am authorized, I have permission to go into the building and to put these flyers under each person's door. Now, they must have said it in such a way that the concierge said, okay, go right ahead, no problem.
That's a
and
lie.
That person went all the way up to the top floor and worked his way down, and accomplished his mission. So I asked myself, and my friend said to me, could he be doing that to scare these people? You better vote for me. We have your name. We have your number. We know who you are. Isn't that awful what happened? Doesn't that remind you of Hitler?
It reminds me of a lot of things, and it also, based on my knowledge of campaign practices and stuff, you don't actually have permission from, especially if it's a co-op, or if it's because you don't have public access to people's to these people's doorsteps. At the very most, if you will, the most that I'm ever comfortable with a campaign doing anything when it comes to an apartment building is perhaps maybe leaving, if you want to ask permission, maybe leaving flyers in the mailroom. Right, where people come and collect their mail. You can't put anything in mailboxes. You can't slide in materials in a mailbox unless it's been paid for and it's been posted. I know, again, I worked on campaigns in the past. But what they did, yes, I would say it is definitely intimidating for a known anti-Semite who says Israel shouldn't exist and that he would arrest Bibi Netanyahu to go into a building in New York City where Jewish people live. That is absolutely, I think, I would take it as being very intimidating.
And to have the list of the names of the people, where did they get the list? My husband said they get them in hospitals sometimes.
Yeah, well, the lists are available. I mean, you campaigns get the voter registrations. There's a lot of it is public knowledge. It's it's like a court case. It's a lot of it is public record. The only thing that's not public record is how you vote. If you vote, I can get a list of Democrats, Republicans, and non-affiliated voters, and I can find out who voted and who didn't vote in the last 10 elections. I can never know how anybody voted. But you can get those. Those things are available. But definitely, Sandra, it's all in what you do with that information,
Right.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for the kind words. It was very sweet of you. Thank you. And don't be a stranger, lady, okay? And tell your friend I said hi. Let's see. I'm trying. I can't see. What is this? I can't see. Okay. Oh, let's get over to Steve in Manhattan. Steve, good morning. You're on Another Side of Midnight with TJ. Hi, good morning.
TJ, awesome show.
Thank you.
And let's not ignore the elephant, 10,000-pound elephant in the room. There's 1 million Muslims in New York City. They voted for my man Danny, or Bambi, whatever we want to call him. He's an assemblyman. His district is also very heavily Muslim population, and they voted for him. Like in London, when they had the first chance to get that crazy mayor, Muslim mayor from Pakistan. They voted for the Muslim. That's what they did. It's not only these radical kids. I saw them out in the street. I talked to them. They're very young. They're out there, usually 3 or 4 of them standing out there, and they're all for my Danny, whatever his name is. His father's also a big radical, but this is the hard left now. They're not embarrassed to come out the way they've always felt.
And you know what, Steve? Steve, you make a hell of a point. I tell you what, Sadiq Khan is his name. Sadiq Khan. I follow all that news because, like I said, my wife is from the UK, and I tend to follow all the UK news. And they say that when America sneezes, Britain catches a cold. This is the opposite. We're following in their footsteps. They've been squashing free speech. They've been allowing illegal immigration. They have been doing way too much importing of people without any assimilation. They went ahead and they elected. This guy followed up Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson left to go to become an MP, and Sadiq Khan always pushed himself as, I'm the son of a bus driver, the son of a bus driver. This guy has ruined a lot of the great things about London. He's done his best. London is just too old and too grand and too wonderful to be broken by a jerk like Sadiq Khan. But if New York wants to see what can happen to a great city and a great metropolitan area, look at what happened with London with their 15-minute cities and they have these emission zones and these like 11-mile-an-hour speed limits, and they're not just trying to bring in electric cars; they're making combustion engines literally illegal and obsolete. I gotta jump, Steve. George, stay there. We'll talk to you after the top of the hour. Pamela, I hope you get locked in. It is me, TJ McCormick, Another Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. When we come back, recovery. The Bezos wedding. What should he have done to really make a splash? We shall return. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. 4:07 a.m. here in New York City on 3rd and 49th in Midtown East Manhattan. Midtown East on the east side of Manhattan in the Midtown part. I am TJ McCormick. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick. It's a whole other side of TJ. Actually, this is me. But I'm on the other side of midnight. And it's another side of midnight, a whole other. And you are a part of that. And I'm grateful for y'all being here. It really means the world to look up and see everybody engaging with the show. And again, the numbers are... I'm really grateful. I can't tell you. It's all exceeding my expectations and my hopes. So thank you for every single thing. I hope I'm living up to my end of the deal. I think I am. You certainly are. So let's keep going. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. In this hour, as we bring you up to the 5 a.m. news hour with Liz Radabali here on 77 WABC, we're talking about the mayor's race. We spoke with New York State Assemblyman Matt Slater about his little feud with AOC and his interactions on a regular basis with Madman Mamdani. Really, it's just, the guy is just he's not impressive. He's got like six. That's another thing too. He's got like 6 different accents. And he was called out for it. A couple of people. There was one real bold reporter. I got to find that audio. I don't know if we have it. I don't know, but we got to find it. I know I don't have it in my. But I just remembered this in the last break that somebody found a bunch of clips and put them together, and he's got apparently an accent or an affect to his verbiage, to his how he'll articulate certain words and phrases and stuff, depending on his audience. You know, like, right when Hillary, just the cringiest of cringe, I've been told round, you know, all of a sudden Hillary Clinton starts sounding like she, you know, I don't even know, like some old black preacher. She'll affect that voice. They all do it. All the left. They all do it. They can't just beat themselves. And that's what Matt Slater was saying. It's because they're all selling you something. And they're all full of it. And they know that if you really pay too much attention to the facts, that they're doomed. And so they try to blind you with the silliness. And so Mamdani has got a bit of a thing like this with certain audiences. And then when he's talking to other audiences, he's really quite Gen Y. He's really Gen Y. Is he Gen Y? He's not Gen Z. My daughter's Gen Z. He's Gen Y. So, you know, he really will affect like kind of a bro thing. Kind of like a, yeah. And then other times he's like really angry. Screw. Anyway, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. And, and so also just to close that loop, by the way, and in case anybody wants, this hour, as we get up to the 5 o'clock hour, always happy to discuss anything related to recovery, anything related to any addiction issues that you or a loved one, if you want to talk about it, if you want to get something off your chest, you got to live out loud. We're only as sick as our secrets. So in this 4 o'clock hour, we always welcome those conversations. We welcome them at any time, by the way. Don't ever hesitate. If you're feeling itchy and you need, generally speaking, I don't care what we're talking about. Generally speaking, if I'm on a roll, I'm not going to pick it up. But no, seriously, always open for that conversation here. And so in a little bit, I'll give you a little idea of some of the realities of out there drinking and using and being in the cups, as they say. And why you really, there's a lot of living proof out there that it doesn't have to be that way. So if that is a part of your reality, if you think that you're struggling, or if your loved one, your buddy, your girlfriend, your mom, your kid, brother, if somebody's suffering and you think, 1-800-848-9222, no shame. In fact, the shame, there's zero shame in talking about it. It's quite the opposite. There's a lot to be proud of in bringing it up. So by all means, anytime. And here we go. Let's get over to George in upstate New York. George, thanks for hanging in there, my friend.
Hey, you're welcome, man. I'm actually a big fan of yours and the WABC lineup.
Thank you. You're very kind. I'm amongst really great company here. It's a dream to be at 77. It really is.
Yeah, I can't say enough on how much I enjoy listening. Everybody's sometimes asleep. But listen, was it your birthday today?
Yes, Friday. Friday was my birthday. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, man.
Thank you, George. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan. So just keep up the good work. I'm a big Trump fan, and appreciate all his supporters.
Yeah,
and
cool.
The man himself.
Indeed. Where in upstate New York are you, George?
Well, I'm actually in Sanborn, New York.
Where is Sanborn?
It's right on the border of Western New York and upstate.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, right there along 90. Or would you be near 90?
Exactly.
There we go. There we go. That's my old stomping ground. All right, brother. Thank you, George. Thanks for the kind word. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. What
And
else?
I saw that thing about Mondani when he was doing those different accents.
Oh, yeah.
Joke.
I gotta find. I'm gonna play that tomorrow night. I'm gonna play that tomorrow night. I'm gonna find that.
He's
tomorrow
embarrassing.
morning. Yeah, he is. He is
And
embarrassing. It's
Hey, the First Amendment, Tom Holman.
Yeah.
The First Amendment. What the? It should have been knocked out right there, man.
Yeah, be careful. Hey, George, thank you, buddy. And yes, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, I'm gonna make it a point to find that clip. I know it's a large audio clip. It's a couple of minutes long, as well as different accents, and this reporter asking him about it, which is really remarkable. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. Talking about New York City politics, talking about Trump, large and in charge. The guy, this whole 3 hours that we're talking here, we're talking Trump has just grown into the role. He is seasoned. He is owning the moments. He's staying on script. He's staying on message. He is steamrolling just about every situation that he's in. He's just remarkable. And then you got the other end of the spectrum. You got this embarrassment, Mamdani, who's just stands for absolutely everything that's wrong with politics. It's disgusting. Anyway, lovely Pamela. Hello, Pamela. Good morning. Welcome.
Oh, my day's even better already.
Hey,
thank you. And
I'm
happy
well.
Birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you very much.
I was just curious what was written in those pamphlets that were specific to Jewish residents in Sandra's girlfriend's high-rise. Now, either it was not to worry, don't listen to everything you're hearing about anti-Semitism, or was it a warning, like get out of town, as the Hochul said? And this is against federal law. I remember Hochul. It stands out in my mind. She said in her own words, when the antibodies came in for COVID, I remember her saying, now there's not too many of these, so line up, everybody. And, white people, by the way, get at the end of the line. And if there's none left after, well, too bad.
Yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. And when he starts talking about, about taxing, about taking the tax burden off of the outer boroughs and putting that tax burden on wealthier, whiter neighborhoods. I mean, it's just, look, I'm not a wealthy white guy. So it's to me, it's just anybody else does that. Yeah. Again, look, honestly, when I hear myself saying that, I stop as I just did. And I just remember we can just start the disqualification with his anti-Semitism. You cannot be an anti-Semite in the mayor of New York. And I'd like to think that there was an army of Jewish Democrat voters who would be standing athwart this candidacy, but well, I don't see them.
I think what the politicians have to do and regular citizens have to do is file a civil rights ruling petition that these people cannot run based on a violation of federal law. Federal law. Yeah. They are discriminating. They are racist against religion and color and ethnicity. And that's what has to be done.
And look, I'm a free speech purist. I mean, look what I'm doing. I'm talking into a microphone. I am all about free speech, for our rights. Every single right and liberty that we enjoy begins and ends and gets oxygen from free speech and free press and the right to gather and protest. All of that. And so, as a free speech absolutist, every once in a while, you do have to acknowledge that there are certain things you say that you're allowed to say, but there's consequences, and that's what he's dealing with. That's what he's peddling in, and he's got to pay. He's got to pay the consequences for being such a hateful.
When you become part of a certain job, either a teacher or a doctor, there are certain oaths.
Yes,
there are certain moralities of law that you must follow, and And this is one of them. You cannot discriminate. You cannot say you're going to tax white people versus others. You cannot go to a building and, hey, listen, you know, when people walk by my street and they pass at my street because they see that I'm a registered this or that and they pass me by, I get it because that's public domain. And, you know, I get that part. But if they start discriminating by, oh, this person's Jewish, this person's Catholic, which they did do in the last administration. Catholic people were followed by the FBI. That's where we draw the line. That is, there is no total free speech. And just like there is no free ride, people, somebody's got to pay for everybody getting something for free. Somebody's paying.
100%. Pamela, you're the best. Just like I said to Silas, every time you call, you make the show better. Thank you for that. 419 here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. I'm TJ. Let's get over to Mike in South Carolina. Mike, an interesting topic here. Mike, good morning, brother.
Good morning, DJ.
Hey.
A belated happy birthday. 57 candles on the cake, huh?
Cheers. Yes. The cake is melting rapidly.
Yes, I just turned, I got 71 candles on my cake. Damn.
Hey, look at you. All right. Together we can start quite a fire.
Fire, yeah. Rim shot with my drumsticks. You know, I've been listening to WABC radio for about 35 years.
Yeah, okay? Same. Yeah.
And, and I always acknowledge good callers that call. Always.
Yeah.
You know, and some people are like loony kazoonie. So, And this guy running for mayor, outrageous. It's just outrageous stuff. And how can people even think about voting for him? They must be taking, I'm Italian 100%, proud to be. They must be taking Stunad pills, stupid pills. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, that's the way it is. But I'll be damned, you know, if this guy ever makes mayor of New York City, I mean, everyone's going to move away. Everybody. I mean, I'm in Long Beach for the last week, where I'm from, Nassau County.
Right.
So see some, like the lyric to the song, DJ.
Yeah.
See some old friends. Good
oh, that's right. You said you were coming up north to see family, friends. Yeah, I remember you said that last week.
Yep.
Okay.
And my son just turned 30. He's a wide receiver at Cortland.
Oh, cool.
And he's in law enforcement now. And so everything being equal, you know, that one guy, I just tuned into your show when I did, and he really should explain to people why he got kicked off Dominic Carter's show for 6 months. That Rusty from White Plains.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, while I have you, Mike, so you're Italian through and through, Long Beach and all that stuff. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. What I think, you know, if Jeff Bezos just wrapped up a wedding, marrying his trophy, and she's a lovely lady. She's a stunning woman. She's very, very smart. She's a journalist. I remember she was a reporter on TV when I lived in Los Angeles. She's a very, very impressive woman on many levels. This guy goes and he rents out, you know, 2/3 of Venice. You know what he should have done? You know what would have impressed me? He should have gotten married at Villa Barone in the Bronx. He should have gone to a wedding factory, and I love a wedding factory wedding. I don't know about you guys. I love going in and the fountains. I love going in and finding my table. I love going into a big, big catering hall and having a wedding. I don't want to pay for it. I got 2 daughters. I'm hoping they both elope. to Europe somewhere. But I love a wedding factory wedding. And I think Jeff Bezos should have taken a bunch of that money, donated it to some fantastic charity, and had like a wedding with, you know, a choice of beef, chicken, or pasta, right? And had a Viennese hour, you know what I mean? And like maybe the flaming plates and all that stuff. Do like a Bronx Italian wedding. That's what Jeff Bezos should have done.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I was looking at the post yesterday on his over the top wedding.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, my bucket list. I was telling Curtis, I said, you know, Curtis, you got satellites all over the world with the Guardian Angels, but I've never been to Italy. That's my bucket list. I have on my father's side, plenty of relatives in Messina, Sicily.
Oh,
so
nice.
That is my ultimate bucket list. All right, DJ.
Beautiful. All right, brother.
TJ.
Thank you there, Mike. Well, I'm TJ, and right now I guess I'm a DJ of sorts. Thank you there, Mike. Drive safe. God bless. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC here on 77 WABC. It's another side of midnight. Let's go over to... Oh, yeah. So yeah, I thought Bezos should have done that. He should have done like a real actor. That would have made news. That would have been... You know what I mean? They could have, like valet parking, Maybe, look, it'd be a DJ. Get a band. Get a wedding band. And you have like a proper, have the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in public, Mr. and Mrs. You know what I mean? Bring out the wedding, bring out the wedding parties. Whoopi Goldberg and Brad Pitt, they come out. The groomsmen and the bridesmaids. Here coming out, I got the Bruce Butterfly, Brad Pitt and Whoopi. Everybody, big round of applause, Brad and Whoopi. Yeah. So let's get over to, we got Tony, Keith, David, and Joaquin. Let's get to Keith in Riverhead. Keith, good morning.
Hey, man. TJ, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm celebrating. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I've been better.
Okay, tell me about it. What's up?
I'm back on a drink.
Okay. How long were you off?
6 months.
Okay, so you can do it. How long you been back on?
2 weeks.
Okay. What's the deal? What was it? What made you take the 6 months off? What was it that was cooking 6 months ago?
Because I can't do it. It's awful.
You can't you mean when you're drinking, it's awful.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were some of the so you say it's awful, so you're powerless over it, and give me an example of like how your life was unmanageable when you decided 6 months ago to step away from it. And good for you for calling, by the way. What was cooking?
I have 3 little boys. And
how are things with the 3 little boys? How's your relationship? How old are they? If you don't mind, say generally. They young boys. They're little.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
8, 10, and 13. I'm 48.
8, 10, and 13, 48. So this is prime time. Yeah. And well, you can keep talking. Tell me what you want to say.
I have to get back to a meeting.
Why?
It's the only thing that saves my life.
You understand, by the way, that you already learned for 6 months that you don't have to drink. You don't have to. Right? And you also learned that you can do it. You did it for 6 months. And if you don't mind, I'm just curious, what was it? Just tell me what led up to the first drink back 2 weeks ago. What led up to that?
I was just getting really depressed and sad.
And now, did you? So rather than picking up the drink, you probably could have called somebody, right?
I should have.
Yeah, right. I know. It's all it's all you look back, but here's the thing: you know better. You do know better. And by the way, I'm not pretending. I'm just a drunk. I'm just a sober drunk. So I'm not a therapist. I'm not an expert. I am. It's 4:30 in the morning. And so I've got like 4.5 hours sober today. So, it's only by the grace of God that I'm not going to drink before I go to bed. And so the thing is that you want to do it for your boys. Are you still married? Are you married?
Nah, I'm going through a divorce.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you're sitting there and you ever start thinking, what's the point? Why even try? You're the point. Because this is about you being good to you. You know what I mean? You have to, first of all, you have to let yourself off the hook for going off the wagon. Okay? It happens. It happened. Right? And so it's not about doing it for the boys. It's about doing it for you so that you can be there for the boys because you're worth it, man. Because you're worth it. You're worth being happy. You're worth having a good relationship with those boys. 8, 10, and 13. I mean, oh my God. And you are a good dad because if you weren't a good dad, you wouldn't. It's so tough to have this conversation and not curse. I got to remember I'm on the radio. You can't not give a damn, Keith. You can't, you know what I mean? And you do give a damn about these boys and yourself. You gonna try to go to a meeting later?
Yeah.
Do you have
I'll make a meeting.
Do you have a sponsor?
I fuck.
Whoa, don't.
I never do the meetings.
Did you get that? Did we get it? Okay, we got it. All right, Keith, hang in there. Do me a favor. Don't curse. So listen. Go find me on Twitter. If you have X, if you have Twitter, I'm at TJ McCormick. All right? And you're out there in Long Island. So listen, anybody listening has anything they want to say to Keith? Anybody want to have a thought about this? Keith, you're the point. You can do it. And you did it for 6 months. So I'm going to be old school sponsor. Go to a meeting today. And you only have to do one thing perfect, Keith, including you cursed on the radio. That's okay. You only have to do one thing perfect, and that's not drink. Everything else can be a mess. Everything else can be choppy and sloppy. The only one thing you got to do is not drink. And you got the tools. You know where to go. You know who to call. All right? All right. Hang in there, Keith. Everybody loves you. Everybody say a prayer for Keith. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-WABC. We're talking recovery. We're talking Momani. And when we come back from this quick break, we're going to talk to Dave, Joaquin, and Tony. Nobody go anywhere. Everybody stay right there. And Keith, you got this, Keith. You got this. We'll be right back. It's Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick. We're talking about a lot of different things now. Jeff Bezos, $50 million wedding. That wedding was. Again, could have gone to what's that one? What's the other one in the Bronx? Del Rey, Marina Del Rey, right there between the bridges. and there was a great on social media. Somebody was sending around that commercial from the 70s and the 80s. It was the venue in the Bronx, the wedding venue in the Bronx. Welcome, come to the such and such. Oh, I got to find it. I'm going to find that and I'm going to send that. We're going to play that tomorrow night too, tomorrow morning. Going to play it this Sunday morning. Yeah. We'll do that. Anyway, let's get over to, we have some people waiting and I'm grateful for all y'all hanging in there. David in Pennsylvania. Good morning, David. Welcome to Another Side of Midnight with TJ.
Good morning, TJ. Happy birthday weekend.
Oh, you're very kind.
Weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has a surprise birthday party for you sometime this weekend. You'll be totally surprised, and it'll happen.
I'll be totally surprised. You've got that Pennsylvania O going. You've got that Pennsylvania O.
Yeah, but total surprise. Hey, Keith,
Yes, Keith.
Some people, most all people, should think twice before they start hitting the bottle, especially if they have kids. If they have kids, those ages, 8, 10, and 13 are close to that. They, boys especially, they should think before they start hitting the bottle. I felt for him, but it's up to him now to just quit, like he said he's going to today. Just quit, and go from there. Hey, you know what? Speaking of addictions or dependency, the bees. Who cares about their problems? Their almost addictions to pesticides. I am trying to start a thing here in this metropolitan area, this one here, as being a bee man with a poster board at events. I probably will go to either today or tomorrow, the New York Mets at Pittsburgh Pirates game, and be outside with my poster board supporting and saying "Save the Bees" on one side and support the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture on the other. The Department of Agriculture would be involved, the Pennsylvania one anyway, very much, and others also, in saving the bees.
Are you in the, what do you do? Are you in the
I'm just like an environmentalist ecologist. I've studied some entomology. I've looked at it. I'm reading books now. One of them is very good, A World Without Bees.
Now I've heard extreme comments that no bees, no us. Bees die, we die. Bees go away, humankind ceases to exist. I've heard extreme commentary like that.
The chemical companies and the government work together, and I didn't know there were so many synthetic chemicals out there that are detrimental to the pollinators and the bees as pollinators. Synthetic. I didn't even realize that. They just come up with one after another, and it's the federal government working with the chemical companies.
Wow.
Well,
thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for the birthday good wishes. I am grateful for them, and I wish you Godspeed in spreading the news, in pollinating all of our friends, and spreading the news of the plight of the bees, and keeping the pollinators pollinating. Thank you, David. Please don't be a stranger. Let's get over to Tony in Clifton, New Jersey. Tony, I love the topic. I love this. Go ahead. Hit me.
I know. Well, I just got to get all the bees out of my head from that conversation. Let me just take a pause.
What's buzzing? What's buzzing in your head? Sting me. Take it. Take me, honey. Honey. Ah, there we go. I did it. I brought it full circle. Bee, honey. Go on, Tony. Honey. And I don't mean in the misogynistic sense. I mean, honey. Yes, lady.
So listen, everybody's talking about this Zoran Mondani guy, and people are afraid of him.
Right.
You know, people are thinking, what's he going to do? And, you know, I don't know what tonight, you know, just before I called you.
Yes.
I started thinking of Don't Mess with Zohan. Remember that Adam Sandler movie?
The Adam Sandler. Yes, Don't Mess with the Zohan, right? With the the Zohan.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, you know, all his different. He's such a, you know.
Don't curse.
What do you call it when they 3-card Monty kind of guy?
Oh, a hustler.
He's a hustler, and he is, you know, Commandant Mondani, Goth, a.k.a. Goth. Remember Ralph Fiennes in that movie? He was the SS general.
Yes.
That you know, was responsible for killing all those people. And when he would get
Schindler's
ready
List.
to talk to everybody from the top of the, remember he had that top of the perch, shoot everybody with the gun, he'd say, listen here, you know. And that's what Mondani has, this sort of an evil, sort of little accent to kind of scare us. We ain't afraid of you, Zohan, man. We ain't afraid of you. Get the hell out of here.
Wow. Tony from Clifton, New Jersey, getting all Jersey on Mamdani's ass. All right. I like that. Way to go. Good for you, Tony. 1-800-848-9222. WABC. We teased it a little bit, and I just want to hit that cut. If you can find it for me, Tone. I know it's getting late in the show, but I believe it's cut 3 from me. Jamal Bowman and his rantings about, we talked about it earlier. I just wanted to make sure everybody heard what we were talking about. Jamal Bowman was on CNN last night, or 2 nights ago, and raving like a lunatic about how it's the N-word that causes obesity. Cut 3. I sent it in from the TJ collection. And and so basically what this lunatic, and again, don't forget, Jamal Bowman was a U.S. congressman, unbelievable, representing the Bronx and parts of Westchester. George Latimer, former Westchester County executive, the one who made Westchester County a sanctuary county, by the way. For every yin, there's a yang. George relieved this metropolitan area of a truly despicable another anti-Semitic congressman. So George did well there. But, before he left, he ran up the Westchester County budget by hundreds of millions of dollars and left Westchester County as a sanctuary county because he signed into law in 2018 the Immigrant Protection Act. Yes, it's a misnomer. It should be known as the Criminal Illegal Immigrant Protection Act, because that's the only subset of immigrants that bill protects, which is illegal aliens who commit crimes while they're here illegally. And it just basically says that the county officials will not ever share information with federal authorities, which is the very definition of sanctuary. So, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC. Let's get over to E. Frank. E. Frank, AA meetings. What do you have to say, E. Frank?
Yeah, TJ.
Hi there.
Let me tell you something. I was under hospital care at one time, okay? I had to go to the hospital for a certain specific reason, and they had Narcotics Anonymous sessions in groups. And I found very effective the fact that they would say that Alcoholic Anonymous is the sister of Narcotics Anonymous, and they are a buddy system that allows you to envelop or control your feelings. I'm a person I don't have sexual addictions or any forms of addictions, but I am sexually tempted because I'm a Roman Catholic. We have a parish priest that does not allow us to do the communal penance for us to receive the absolution from Christ. So it's difficult for me right now sexually. But I'm apart from the point, Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, very effective to help the buddy system for persons who, like the caller before, who had that issue.
Right.
There are support systems in Alcoholic Anonymous.
Yeah, I'm a big believer.
Keep going.
Thank you, E. Frank. Thanks for backing that up. I'm a big believer in that. And I'm also a big believer that Jamal Bowman is a clown.
Original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You can't be calm about this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment
Listen
on
to
it.
what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Jamal,
but unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamal, it's coming from one side.
Jamal, I feel your passion, and I understand where you're coming from, sincerely. I really, really do. It happens on both sides, Jamal. You might think it happens more on your side. Jamal. Jamal, when I leave the show, Jamal, you should see my Twitter feed.
And they're acquitted. Rodney King, Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about.
What an idiot.
Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is a disease that will destroy us. And it's destroying us right now.
How about the hate? You know,
January 6th, everybody was partying. 100%. Everybody's partying. Riots in L.A., they're insurrectionists.
You know, again, you know who's worse than Bowman is the lily-livered little limp conservative sitting there next to him who's saying, I feel your pain, Jamal, and I feel your pain, and I hear you, and you know, and listen, it's on both sides. Shut up! Stop enabling this moron. Jamal Bowman is okay. First of all, he's talking about hate. How about the original hate? How about the original sin of anti-Semitism? How about the original thousands and thousands and thousands of years of outright hate and death and extermination and genocide, all aimed at the Jews? Carried out today in the 21st century by anti-Semites like Jamal Bowman and his pal Mamdani. And all of the other normalized moments of anti-Semitism on college campuses and on the steps of the Capitol when Ilhan Omar opens her nasty mouth and Rashida Tlaib opens her nasty mouth and AOC opens her nasty mouth. How about that hate? It's 4:51. I got to take a break. When we come back, we will wrap it up with John and Joaquin. It's another side of midnight. Ooh, TJ got angry. I'm sorry. TJ got a little acidic there on my birthday. 1-800-848-9222, 77 WABC. $4:54 here. Coming up on the 5 o'clock news hour with Liz Radabali. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, here on 77 WABC. And to Keith, if you're still listening there, my friend, you're the point. Just want to remind you, you're the point. You absolutely know that you don't have to drink. You did it before. You can do it again. You're going to walk into a meeting today, and they're going to say, "Welcome back," and you're just going to start over. You don't, and look, you don't have to. Not only do you not have to drink, and look, I've got a cough button. I'm coughing right into the microphone. What am I doing? I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Keith, and I'm concentrating on. I'm thinking about my early sobriety, and I'm thinking about what it was like. And you know, by the grace of God, I made it through without having a relapse. It's not part of my story, but I know that there were many, many times when it was a paper-thin margin between drinking and not drinking. And very often it was just simply God's will that kept me on the other side of this side of having a drink. So, Keith, you absolutely can do it. And look, if it's I know for some people 1 day at a time is good enough. 1 hour at a time. Okay, that'll work. For some people, I remember sitting in a meeting and a guy telling me that there were days when it was literally second by second. He literally had to pray his way through. You know? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Okay, you started drinking again. Here's where that prayer comes in for you, Keith. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Okay, you can't change the fact that you had another drink. And for 2 weeks, you were drinking again. Okay? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things that I can. You can start all over again today, Keith. That's what this prayer is about. You can start all over again today. And the wisdom to know the difference. Today, you're asking for wisdom to know the difference between the things that you can change and the things you cannot change. Right? I'm here. We're all here to help you with the wisdom part. Okay? You screwed up and you started drinking again. Okay. You can't change that. What you can change is how you go to bed tonight. You can go to bed tonight sober. And you don't have to be perfect in that pursuit. So you got this if you want it. John in Brooklyn, good morning. We're going to wind this thing out. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My question is, there's two. First, we're told that $750 million to $1 billion in fares is lost because of fare jumpers.
Right.
So this is the buses, the trains, and so forth.
And they're the criminals too. That you basically the people making life hell on the subways and the buses. They're also the criminals in other ways too, because somebody's not paying their fare to go and slash somebody.
All right. So now does this mean that the bus drivers and the train people are letting these people on? I mean, how would they get on if the bus driver doesn't let them on?
I think, anecdotally, I don't know for gospel, but I think I've heard that either, and somebody can correct, but I think I've heard along the way that some of the drivers have been told, don't confront them. I think I've heard that. Don't confront these people who are just rushing your bus or your turnstile. You're talking about buses in particular. I mean, that's different from, right? I mean, it's a turnstile. Turnstile's not going to engage a fare jumper, but these poor men and women driving the buses and they got some crazy person. All right, everybody. It is the end of the Saturday morning version of Another Side of Midnight. I shall be back tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, the Lord's Day. Thank you for joining me, TJ McCormick, on Another Side of Midnight here on 77 WABC, bringing us up to the 5 a.m. news hour. My gratitude to Bill and Tony, fellas, and everyone out there. Thank you for being a part of the show, the early morning family. God bless, and I wish you all the luck in the world.